07 Commanders, my name's Phil and I'm from the Frontier community team. Today we're going to talk about and get a first look at the Type-11 Prospector in-game. To help me do that, I've got a very special guest. It's Curtis.
Thank you very much for having me, Phil.
So, first things first, I think everybody's keen to see the Type-11 in-game.
Yep.
Let's get the footage up on screen, shall we? Let's just start with a reminder for the players who might not be aware. What type of ship is the Type-11 Prospector?
So this will be our first dedicated mining ship.
Okay. So it's our first dedicated mining ship. Why did we decide to do that now?
There's a few reasons, yeah. I mean, we've already so far done a few new ships that cover a lot of our sort of larger scale activities, combat, exploring, trading, all that sort of stuff. So we wanted to look at some of our sort of more niche activities that we have that aren't quite encompassing the broader terms of the game. And we thought that mining was a really good one because we've got a lot of ships that are really good at mining, but we haven't got one that's just like the best miner. So
yeah, it's fair to say that this is a completely bespoke mining ship and the first of its kind for Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. So we've never really thought of our ships as miners before. They've always been like traders that are good at mining, or sometimes even explorers that are good at mining. But this one is a mining ship that is good at mining.
Okay, so can you tell us a bit more about the unique selling point of the Type-11, the Prospector?
Yeah, so one of the unique selling points I think is the way it looks. As with I think all of our new ships, the art team have done a fantastic job, and they've done a really good job of sort of taking that industrial look that we've got on some of the other ships, especially like the Type 8, and sort of gone, well, what does that look like on a mining vessel? And along with that, they've also gone, well, what does a mining vessel need that are part of the look? Sure. So, for example, you want the mining vessel to have a really good view because you're scanning all of the asteroids to find the ones that you want and to know where you are and stuff like that. So it's got a really nice cockpit that's right at the front and got a really good view all the way around. So that's a nice example of where sort of like art and design sort of like a mix and create a really good sort of reason to want to fly this ship for its intended role. And then beyond that, we've got some other sort of like, again, sort of art and design mix of stuff. Art wanted to put these two of the engine pods on the end of these long arms. And we spoke about it and we thought it would be a really good idea if those retracted. So the sort of like a profile of the ship was a little smaller. So you could like, weave in and out between all the asteroids. And also when you're core mining, you want to be able to get in amongst the broken up chunks.
Sure.
So having that smaller profile really helps there. So whenever you either have the landing gear deployed for landing on a pad, or when you open the cargo hatch, when you're scooping up all those mining goodies, the pods will retract inwards, which I think is a really cool little feature that we've got. And then sort of the more sort of like more sort of like hands-on practical features for the ship that we've got is it's got two new Mark II modules that will be sort of specific to the ship, at least for now. And one of them is an internal. It's a size 5 drone controller for mining ships.
Okay.
So we don't have a size 5 mining controller, so that's one of them. And it's got basically covers almost all of the limpet needs you would need for the ship, which saves a lot it saves a lot of other optional internal space for the ship for other things that you need for mining. And then the big one is literally because it's a large it's a large mining tool. So we've created a new mining tool that goes in a large hardpoint slot specific to this ship's large hardpoint slot, and it basically acts as the same sort of gameplay as the mining lasers, where it pulls fragments out of the asteroid, but it does it instead of as a continuous laser. It's got distinct energy projectiles that sort of target the fragments in the asteroid and pull them out. And because it's these energy projectiles, it can also do abrasion mining as well. So you don't necessarily need to bring an abrasion blaster with you as well. So it saves you another slot on the ship as well.
That sounds like that's a really handy feature.
Yep.
Excellent. So tell me about the hard points on the ship. How many hard points does it have? That's the question we get asked all the time. Everyone wants to know about the hard points.
Yep, as you should. So technically, this ship has 8 hard points. However, those are split between the sort of regular hard points that everyone's used to. We've got 4 of them, 1 medium and 3 small. So you can put whatever you want on them: mining tools, lasers, torpedoes, if you fancy it.
Yeah.
And then we have 4 more ones. We've got our large, a small, and 2 mediums, and those are just for mining tools. So the ship is specifically designed for doing mining, so it's got these slots that are specifically placed and designed to only have mining tools on them. And then it's still got a few more hard points left over where you could put defensive weapons if you didn't want to go like full in on all of the mining tools, for example.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. So what about the optional internals on the ship? What can you tell me about those?
So for the optional internals on the ship, we have got 12 total. 2 of which are special slots designed for specific modules. So we've got 2 size 1, 1 size 2, 1 size 3, 1 size 4, 4 size 5, and 3 size 6. And 2 of those size 5s, yes, I know it sounds like a lot, but 2 of those size 5s are restricted. So one of them is for a fighter bay, because the ship has a fighter bay. Because it's lacking a little bit in terms of like hard points. We wanted to give it that little bit extra that you could take.
Yep.
And we didn't want you to feel like you were choosing between a hangar bay to have a fighter for more defense and another module. So this one is built in specifically to only house the fighter bay. And then the second one is for the module I mentioned before, the size 5 mining drone controller. But it can also fit any other drone controllers you want on it as well. So, you know, if for some reason you didn't want that one, you could pick another one if you wanted.
Yeah, no, that's good to know. And in case you were wondering why we've got notes, that's exactly why we've got notes, because there's an awful lot to go through on there.
A lot of numbers.
Yes. So tell me more about core internals. Is there anything special about them that makes them good specifically for mining?
Yeah, so I'll go through them first. So we've got a size 6 power plant, size 5 thrusters, 5 FSD, 3 life support, 7 power distributor, size 3 sensors, and size 5 fuel tank. So for mining, you do tend to require a fair bit of power for mining. Mining tools require a bit, multiple drone controllers, refineries, all that sort of stuff. So a size 6 sort of covers all those bases and lets you have them at a high level, even when you've got some engineering on them and stuff as well. And then the size 7 power distributor, anyone who's done mining knows that like mining lasers, they chug a fair bit of that distributor. So we've given that quite a large one so that it can handle like tools going off at the same time and also for sort of sustained runs at an asteroid.
We've established that the ship is fantastic for mining. How would it fare if it needed to defend itself while you were out mining?
As we said, it's got 4 hard points and a fighter bay. So, you know, it's got a reasonable amount of armament on it. It's got roughly 2 hard points less than certain ships like the Asp Explorer and even the Type 8.
Okay.
But sort of makes up for that by having the fighter that can sort of like go around and harass enemies, even while you're trying to escape. So it's got that going for it. Obviously, with that loadout, it's never going to compete with like the FDL or the Mamba. Though I do fully expect someone to kill a Hydra with it on the first day, because that always happens. But yeah, for most of us, it's going to be sort of like okay in combat, but I don't expect it to be your sort of mainline fighter.
No, that's fair enough. I know you mentioned about you fully expecting a player to kill a Hydra on day one with one of these ships. Any other extreme use cases that you can think of that players are going to find with this?
I'm not sure about extreme, but as we mentioned, it's got a really great view from the cockpit. And it's actually got, when you take into account all the stats, it's actually got a pretty decent jump range on it. When you couple that with the fact that for a medium ship, it's got a fairly small footprint for landing on planets, I could see people taking this out exploring, those that prefer sort of a more rustic, a sort of more rugged look to their ships. I could see this being a decent explorer for those people. And while its cargo capacity isn't quite that of the Type 8 or Corsair, it's still got nearly 300 cargo capacity when you just put cargo racks in it. So it makes a decent trader as well.
Yeah. I think we've covered off everything.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
I don't think we've missed anything else off. There's nothing else too important that players have asked for that they'd really like to know about this.
No, I can't think of anything.
Certainly not a release date or anything like that. Anything you can share with us?
I don't think they'd care about that. But just in case they do, any players that are interested in this ship, it will be available for ARC's early access on the 23rd of September.
So that's the 23rd of September.
Yep.
ARC's early access.
Yep.
Great news.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Curtis.
Thank you for having me.
It's been very insightful. There's lots of information in there that I'm sure our players are super keen to finally hear about. I can't wait to get my hands on it myself and give it a try and get out there and earn some credits.
Yep. Same.
Thank you very much.